once we become aware, there's actually, it comes and it goes. So, you know, anything to do with the external thing, even if I go into a more intimate relationship of, you know, people are so wrapped up in a physical relationship. Husband and wives get wrapped up in physical relationship, and then after a while say, oh, I'm not satisfied, I go with somebody else, I go with somebody else. But even the physical relationship between a husband and wife, even between a faithful husband and wife, has even a limited time. So what is it that makes two people one? That short period of a physical relationship? I mean, even if you put all the time that people, husband and wife, are physically united, is it altogether in the course of life is a very short period of time. So that cannot be the glue. It shouldn't be, because if it is, it's another falsehood. So there are a lot of things like this that, I mean, these are all just byproducts of the immature heart. You remember I was saying that to grow as a child and to grow as a sibling and somehow parents are the prerequisite, are the qualifications to get married. And in other words, when people want to get married, we have to check their artistic credentials.
Artistic credentials, I like that.
Really? Because if you look at the broken relationships and then you go back and check the artistic credentials, you say, oh, you missed a lot. You overlooked a lot of things. And if you honestly look back, we can see that. So in order not to repeat the same mistake, we actually have to go and take all the radars and cameras out of other people and everything and start seeing me. The heart is already there. The habits, the wrong habits and thoughts of me are there too. I have to notice them. Just the fact that I realize that I am not me will actually give me the awareness that I have to be careful of me. You know, all the great wisdoms of the past encourages people to get rid of their self, their life, you know, deny the self. Even they go through the like a absolute self-denial of everything physical, you know, in some very ascetic and monks and so on. It's just to become free somehow.
Gandhi has a very interesting expression that says, in order to find yourself, you should lose yourself in the service of others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus was saying that give up your life to gain your life. So if you are on a receiving end of that, it means give up my life to become a life that I am. Or deny yourself.
I guess it's similar to the let go and let God, right?
Yeah.
Similar to that.
Yeah. If we actually come out of the illusion and images of the name God,
Yes.
you know, to realize the thing, what is it that we call God? Apart from the images that we have of God, apart from interpretations, or even wishful thinkings that we have about God. What is it? This name God is pointing to what? That's why I said at the beginning, it's probably much easier in a tangible way to realize that there is life. Life that is bigger than all the lives that we see in visibly in the whole universe and the creation and all that. Especially nowadays, you know, in the past 15, 20 years and so on, the technology has developed so much. We see all these documentaries about the magic of creation, you know, the life under sea here and there. You know, BBC is making all these magnificent DVDs. It's just like, it's unbelievable, you know, the vastness of it is mind-blowing, is speechless. You just, what is this? You know, and that is not it even. what holds that, what sustains that, what designs that, what makes that function, that is the original life. That is completely invisible. What this magnificent thing we see and we are wondered about it is just a physical manifestation of that invisible life.
And what's even more awesome is the realization that we truly are one with that.
Yeah, we are the same expression
Yeah.
of the same thing.
Yeah. In other words, our resources are all there.
Everything.
There's no problem that I have to, rack my own personal brain with to
Right.
figure it out.
Yeah.
It's
If you get rid of few aspects, imagine, like for example, if you get rid of the greed. One word, greed. Big, big impact. Selfishness. Huge, huge impact. If there is a way that by some turning of a magic wand tomorrow is possible to erase selfishness from human's mind, tomorrow we're going to have heaven. There is no difference. It doesn't take time or something. It's just a shift of realizing something that doesn't work and not to go with it anymore.
I'm thinking for someone that's watching this and they want to know what that oneness is, to find what that is, to experience it, what would be some simple steps that they can take to discover what that is?
Can I say one, or are you?
No, please.
No, I mean, I don't have a definite answer,
Yeah.
but I think the very first thing is that they need to be prepared to take the risk,
Yeah.
because it's actually right there. But we have we are so afraid to give the
Yeah.
control to the driver.
So true,
We're sitting next to the driver and said, no, let me hold the thing.
Exactly.
So if you're
Let me
willing,
tell you where to go.
exactly. So if you're willing to say, okay, you know what? For the next 5 minutes, I realize there is a driver. Let me
Yeah.
just step back and enjoy the ride.
Yes, yes.
And that's a big risk taking right there. So I don't know. That's what's come to my mind.
Yes, yes.
Right.
You know, everything that we were talking actually was pointing towards that actually to realize that I am much more than this little me. Life is far greater and far more magical than this thing I call my life. There is so much love and joy and relationship out there than this thing that I made for myself, and for so many people, honestly looking at it is so lonely. So this whole thing is for that, to come to that point that actually such thing does exist. The hope is that to come to a realization that, yeah, I believe it exists. And that's a beginning. I believe that exists. As I said, for me was that the simple realization that I am not me. But what brought me to this point was the experiences that I went through in my life. So there are people who might hear things that we are talking, and it's just the right moment for them to suddenly, it's just like that final straw.
Yes,
Suddenly something makes sense. Because for me it was like in the search, I was going through a lot of different areas and different areas and different areas. And at one point I understood certain things, and so many of those things somehow connected to each other, became simplified into one path. So many paths became fewer paths, and then after search, and they become, and it all was through experiences and understanding and application. One of the things that we need to realize that is actually, I cannot control anything or anybody. This is a maybe very good initial awareness. Can you give up control? Now, one may say, I don't think I'm a control kind of person. Okay, that might be true. But I would like to suggest just just for interest. Pay attention for a few days. Just focus. Take your focus off other people, of like, if you find yourself criticizing other people, if you find yourself judging and condemning other people and so on, notice that and stop it. And then bring that focus to yourself to see what you see. And then if in there is aspects of trying to control, trying to justify, trying to look good, to realize that you don't need any of those. Those are not part of the I. Those are the compensations we made in our mind to look good, for the sake of being accepted. There has been systems in the past 20, 30 years of self-talk. Many books were written about it, that you even write down things and put it on your medicine cabinet, so you make sure you see it every day because you have to go to the bathroom.
So affirmations.
Affirmations, yeah. That I am good.
Yes.
Basically, this is the bottom part of it. I am good.
Yes.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, whatever. But fundamentally, I am good. I do matter. I have a right to exist.
Because you do exist.
This has to be affirmed, because these were not affirmed from the beginning. When there was so much criticism and put down and all that, then this unconscious thought, he said that I don't deserve to exist. Why the thought comes? Because it came from God. Who? Parents. Who are God for the child? Parents. When God speaks with authority, you don't deserve to exist, you're bad. Right. Now they think with their own mind, in a logical mind, they cannot see yet, because they have forgotten their own childhood, that being is taking it all with emotion and believes it and builds the rest of life on that. Yes. So these are the things that we have to become aware, that these were actually false programming. And then through everyday life, we can actually see how they function. We can finally find ourselves actually playing a role motivated by those thoughts, acting in a certain way with somebody motivated by those thoughts.
Yes. Yes. So not controlling, so releasing control.
Give up control, yeah.
And
accept you don't have control.
Right. And then the affirmations.
What I was saying by the affirmation is not just to, just mentioning that there were even these things were coming out in order to help people, but final goal of all of them is that to make person believe that I matter, I have value, I have a right to exist.
And I am enough.
Yeah. So I'm telling you now that you're actually far more than you can even imagine. You haven't even begun to scratch the surface of who you really are as potential. You haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg. It's not even the tip of the iceberg yet, of the magnificence that exists inside of each one of us. And I come over and over across this thought that I meet people who actually think that they don't matter. And then they think, when they see the situation and so on, they think, what can I do? I repeat this all the time, that this is the biggest lie, the biggest lie that we can let our mind believe. That what can I do? I'm only one person.
Yes. Yes, where you hear the saying, I'm only human, not realizing that they're not
that's
only
everything,
human.
yeah.
I used to ask them, okay, describe to me human first.
Right. Exactly.
You mean that's not enough? Not human, that's not.
But all the great people in the world who made the greatest change in the history of human being, they were one.
Yes.
The only difference is that they didn't think, what can I do? They didn't think, I'm only one person. I can't do anything. That thought was not there. Only that difference. The ability is in every human being. That thought prevents it, shuts the door or opens the door. If it's not there, the doors are open. The energy is there, life is there. If the thought is that I'm not good enough, I can't do it. And this is a lie. I want to emphasize this because the important thing is that everything that every single person, anytime, anywhere in the world, thinks, even thinks, and more than that says, and even more powerful than that does, matters. So we should completely erase this lie that I can't do anything, I can't make any change. We are already making a change. You know, everything that everybody is thinking, saying, and doing is creating an energy. So why not for it to be good? Exactly. If we want to change everything towards goodness. Yes. There are billions of people in the world. You know, the majority of young people today in the world, they have this feeling that the systems we have here is not working. They can't put their finger exactly why is it not working and so on. Because it somehow creates separation. And young people, the younger they are, the less they are separated. Is that when we come, for example, after they say, when you get into real life, you realize, and we get into real life, yes, then we separate from each other, and then we fall into the same old trap. This is a time for a real shift of the consciousness of human being. And that shift can accelerate much faster if we actually bring artistic relationship into our interactions with each other. Not only we grow very fast, we change very fast, the energy we create and the change that we cause in other people is so rapid and is so strong. There's nothing more powerful than this. There is no energy more powerful than the energy of the genuine, true heart. All the great changes in the world happened by the brave hearts, who were one person, but their heart was genuine. They followed the heart, and they changed the lives of thousands and millions and hundreds of millions of people. And even if it came 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000, doesn't matter. The energy of their existence and what exists still going on so powerful because they are connected to the life, and whatever is true never changes. And it stays forever. Because it's so absolutely right. That's the characteristics of the truth. That's what they did. And there's nothing more true than the original human heart.
Yes. So the great, you're referring to the great avatars that graced the planet and really brought forth life and awakening and understanding.
It expressed itself. Mm-hmm. All that invisible thing expressed itself into a visible thing for the sake of joy and love. Now what he was saying before, he is afraid of imagining the world that there is love and joy and none of this rest of the baggage. But that world will be very different. Yeah. The dynamics of relationship, the activities of human beings. Human beings are the most creative beings. Every single human being is absolutely a creator. Has the ability to create because has a power of thinking and imagination. Yeah. Now imagine every single human being with the ability of a creativity of life, fully grown. The heart is completely mature, so there is nothing inhibit human beings. All our inhibitions are because of the blocks we put on ourselves, because of our emotional emptinesses, vacuums in our beings. And when it comes to function, we can't function. Because the function of human being has to be artistic. And when there's so many blocks are missing in the building blocks of the heart, So many blocks are missing. I mean, you have here, and then you can put something on it. You can put something else on top of it. You can put something else on top, and build like a bricks. If the first brick is not there, there's no way for a second and third to stay there. They just constantly fall. So the heart of the final point is that we actually have to become very aware of our own foundation emotionally. The hardest thing for us to go and restore, repair, whatever, rebuild, is our childhood. And I talk to thousands of people. You know, I have nothing to hide myself. You know, I know that I've been grown up and not built right, missing a lot of things. Same with thousands of other people, whoever, a lot of people I was in contact with a different intensity, because scenarios of life were different in the past. But basically, the stronger foundation we have, the better everything else will work.